God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about all the news from the producer's letter from June 2021. Before we begin, I want to give a big shout out to the members of Napalm. I could not do this without you. You are the sponsors of this channel. Thank you for your continued support. If you are interested in becoming a member of Napalm with exclusive perks, please click the join button down below for more information. And a very special shout out to the Lords of Napalm, Bounty Code, We Smoke Bitcoins, and Tango Hotel. Thank you for your highest tier membership. Now, in the letter, they say that the last few months have been extremely exceptionally productive and exciting. Not only have they released their Road to Alpha feature list and all the goals that they need to get there and everything they need to accomplish, they've also bolstered their team with new design talents and production experience with Adam Tejon Mostel, and he's hard at work on the perception system, the dispositions and traits and encounter design, and of course he wears other hats as well. So he's not only been a game designer but also a production assistant, and he has proven himself to be invaluable. They also brought on a new environment artist for world building and 3D art creation efforts, which we really need that. Super glad that we have a new member working on that. Also, they are about to finalize their assistant content creator position. No announcement on that just yet, but they are about to fill that position apparently. Now then they go on to cover that their latest developer stream, in which they kind of showed off the combat awareness system. Now I did a whole video on that, so you can check that out here on the channel, and it was really cool seeing how the mobs reacted to what they did and how they could kind of counter that. But I have a whole video on that, no reason to go into too much detail there. And now their current focus is the development and integration of the next 3 classes, which is Monk, Ranger, and Summoner. The Monk is coming along really well. Sounds like from this report that it's almost done. And their next upcoming development stream is going to focus on the Monk. They're going to do a deep dive of the Monk's role in combat, their ability arsenal, and their unique combat resource. After the Monk, they're going to move into the Ranger and then the Summoner next. Because of the pet development system, that's going to be very challenging, I would assume. Now keep in mind, they mention here in this newsletter that once they get the Summoner and the pet system in, that also, because of the coding for that, opens the door for Charm. So enchanters and pre-alpha VIP members, rejoice, you're going to be able to charm very soon once they get the Summoner in and working. And then their next step after those 3 classes in the alpha roadmap is to integrate their new networking stack, bringing their terrain streaming system online. Once they got that in place, they're going to transition the King's Reach zones out of gray boxing, which is going to be freaking awesome to see what King's Reach really looks like. So until they get that network code to where it basically can stream that terrain, etc., we're kind of stuck in gray box, right? For that massive zone. But once they get that network stack in, baby, we'll get to see what it really looks like. I'm so excited about that, by the way. And then they go on to say that while NPC combat awareness and class implementation have been their priority, there have been a lot of other things in Pantheon that have been worked on as well. So let's take a look at the patch notes. So for classes, the Monk class implementation, of course, improved functionality of charged and combo ability types. The Wizard arcane abilities no longer strip runes from other schools of magic. They've also introduced a new spell line for wizards, a new spell line, blood maybe, we'll see. They also got the Shaman Vision combat resource fully implemented with functional UI art. They also got the Dire Lord Thresh bleed effect. It scales based on the target's health now. And they also got the Dire Lord Sanguine Blade. It now returns more health the lower your health is when you use it. And they've updated the UI art for the Rogue opportunity. Now on the programming side, they finished the development of the NPC combat awareness system, as we know, which allows them to create flavorful, interesting, and challenging NPC behaviors and synergies in combat. They also finished the integration of the NPC immunity system and the precursor to the diminishing return system. Also, they're nearing completion of proving out the full pipeline for their procedural terrain generation tooling. Now, this is a step in a soon coming focus, they say, on converting the project to HDRP and getting their terrain streaming tech online and beginning to beautify the world of Terminus. So let me just stop there for a second. So what they're doing to speed up development basically is they're using a custom terrain generation tool, and once it creates the terrain, then they can go back in and tweak it and make it exactly how they want. So it isn't going to make, it's not like they just pop in some code and out comes the zone and there it is. Then they go in, they tweak it, and they, move and make hills and mountains and add trees and move them around and make it cool, and then add custom art into it and all that kind of thing. But it helps, right? It lays out a foundation so they can work from there. They also said they've improved the net data profiling to AI and network ticks. I think that's communication to the server based on actions happening in the game. And then they've also got some animation updates. Improvements to animation blending when many animations are firing at once or in rapid succession. Improvements also to the queue processing and blending of entity actions, and adjustments to animation transitions going from idle into any movement. Also, they've added 3 new monk combat animations: mountain pose, iron palm, and chi spear. Can't wait to see those, and I'm sure we will on the next development stream. Also, for art, several new NPC models are being developed, including skeletons. Put that laugh in there. And lycandrels, werewolves, which there's a picture of that you've probably seen on the cover, actually, of the thumbnail for this video. Also, spiders and wraiths. Very cool. Also, Wild's End is in development as their current world building focus. Oh yeah, moving along. There was some art here for some areas there in Wild's End. That's some concept art, so it'll be really cool once we get to see what that looks like. Next up, the really big news: testing. So the next pre-alpha session is approaching quickly. Although they didn't give an exact time, they just said it's very soon. They'll be announcing the dates for that upcoming session soon. They also highlight back their last 30-hour session where they did boosted experience rate and just let testers have a full 30 hours to just kind of play around with the game at without having to speed along, because normally you only get a couple of hours to play. In this case, we got a full 30, so last time we were able to really kind of pace ourselves and do a lot of extra, more natural and calmer, less rushed gameplay. However, they will be wiping the characters to coincide with the introduction of the monk class to the playable roster. So your pre-alpha characters say goodbye, give them a kiss, and send them into the sunset. Anyway, their next testing session is going to focus, of course, on the new integration of the NPC combat awareness system that they showcased in the last stream and that I've already done a video on, because they've taken that and they've applied it across the board. So it's applied to NPCs throughout the game. Of course, we'll be looking for feedback on how good the diversity feels, the challenge level, the functional integrity, and the mechanics and behavior, and all that sort of thing. And most importantly, is it fun? Now, the second testing focus will be on the monk class, of course. So in the functional integrity of the class, does everything work? And in the overall feel for the class. They also said that they would like feedback on how good the class feels to play, but also how it currently feels to adventure alongside the monks as other classes in Terminus. And then they give a thank you to the incredible community, that's you guys, for all your excitement and passionate support, and that's really what gives them the drive and the energy to keep pushing forward. Then they say Pantheon is coming, and we are determined to see it get here as quickly as possible. Until next time, onward and upward. We'll see you in Terminus soon. And that was by Chris Joppa Perkins, the creative director and producer of course, the one and only Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. So this is a pretty good producer's letter. It's pretty exciting because it's telling us that the monk is coming. It's telling us there's been some animations added. It's telling us that they're working on Wild's End, and explains to us, which they've kind of done before, but explains to us that the gray boxing is about to go away once they do the network stack, which is their next big push. So this is pretty exciting, guys. It looks like they're making a lot of progress moving towards alpha. The terrain building is really going to help them be able to finish up a lot of the other zones. We don't really know for sure exactly how many zones they've really got laid out or done work on, or anything really. We only know what they've showed us, and they've showed us mostly King's Reach and they've given us tiny little snippets of information and gameplay footage from Fairtale, and that's about it. So we really don't know, but knowing that they're moving on to Wild's End, which is going to be a really cool zone, it's going to look so much different than what we've seen before, so I'm really looking looking forward to that. And also I'd like to mention that before they have shown us side by side their artwork and then how it ended up looking with final art, especially with Fair Hell environments, and it was very close, right? Like they're really good at capturing that from the original art. So I can't wait to see that, and I can't wait till we get a new pre-alpha session. I'm looking forward to that big time, and I know a lot of you Monk fans are super psyched, and I know the enchanters are super psyched about the summoner, because that means finally they can start charming the creatures of Terminus. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. I know I've got an enchanter friend that I know is probably super excited. Well guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I just wanted to break down this and talk about what was in this producer's letter. Keep the faith, stay strong, Pantheon's coming, and they're progressing very fast, and I'm very proud of the work that Visionary Realms has done so far. And until next time guys, God bless and happy gaming.